You're answering
you're
a
not giving me
different
a
question.
chance to
Shut up
answer it.
now. You're not answering the question I put. In general, is it the case that the people who attend independent schools are funded by private individuals, be it their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, or some other?
In many cases,
No,
yes.
I didn't ask you in many cases. Answer the question I put. In general.
If you want to talk in general terms, then yes.
Well, clearly I do. Otherwise, I would not have paraphrased the question in such a way. Are you totally stupid?
No.
Then why do you behave as if you are? When I start a sentence and I include the phrase in general, then clearly I mean in general. So answering by saying, if you mean in general, yes, is ludicrous. You're an imbecile. Someone somewhere has wasted a lot of money on you.
As I said,
You have been Beswicked.
Wonder if you send his head back, will you get a discount? I'll do John.
Hello.
Hello.
I'd like to talk about fridges and their design from the 50s to the 60s up to the present day.
Riveting.
Yeah, I think they're quite an interesting subject. Definitive pop art in the 50s and 60s. Hello?
You said you wanted to talk about it.
Yes.
Is something preventing you?
No, sorry, I didn't hear anything. I didn't know whether you'd cut me off.
You don't have to hear anything to speak.
No,
In fact,
I
it's
don't.
better if you don't.
True, I agree with you entirely. Do you have any feelings on fridges?
I thought you wanted to tell me about it.
Yes, but some input from you would be appreciated.
All I can say is the subject of fridges leaves me cold. How do, Graham?
Hello, Alan.
Yes.
I've been listening to your show a couple of nights back.
I only have a programme.
Yeah, be a programme. And someone phoned up saying about working and claiming Social Security at the same time.
That is correct.
And your views on it were right. You know, I don't think anyone should work and claim Social Security at the same time. But
Thank you. How do, Lee?
Hello, Alan.
What do you want?
I'm ringing about the new anti-shoplifting campaign in Preston. Well, I strongly disagree with it. It's using the slogan, if you spot 'em, shop 'em. Well, my point is, why should the public stick their necks out and risk being mugged or having a
They're
brick
not
full...
sticking their neck out merely by shopping them. They're not suggesting that you accost them, but the criminal system in our country, or the crime prevention system in our country, cannot operate without the public.
Ah, but there's a difference.
That is a fact.
There's a difference between just ignoring it and actually doing something about it, isn't there?
All they're asking that you do is to report the matter.
Yeah, well,
all.
why should they risk being mugged having a brick thrown through the
because
window?
if you don't, then we will never prevent it. Crime prevention is the responsibility of every citizen. And if you think it's a job that we can just hand over to the police and forget all about it, then you will live in a criminal society whether you like it or not.
No, well, I understand it's everybody's problem.
Good, so let's us all get together and deal with it. We shall talk to nobody else until after the melodic moment, which is almost upon us. We have some classic melodic moments on this programme. What, we start off with Stevie Wonder and Lately, and then Paul McCartney. And What a Girl. What? And Only Love Begins. Remains. Can't read my own writing. Anyway, I bet you'll like this. 'Cause I do. She wouldn't have to ask me twice. 11 minutes to 1. If you wish to join us on the phone, and you may do, there's not much point ringing just yet, because we've got, well, another record, possibly two, before we start taking calls again. This is it. The moment you've been waiting for the past 20 minutes.
Ring him if you dare.
And if you do, the number is Preston 56 1000. It's news time.
The 1 o'clock news, this is Bill Bingham. The parents of a 7-year-old Cleveland girl are threatening to sue a doctor at the centre of the child sex abuse controversy. They say they underwent an 8-hour ordeal when Dr. Marietta Higgs diagnosed their daughter was a victim of abuse. But as Linda Duffin reports, her decision was overturned when the parents got a second opinion.
The little girl was examined for signs of abuse without her mother's permission after going for a routine hospital checkup. The child could now be in council care, but for new guidelines which came into force that day. They gave the right to a second opinion, which quashed Dr. Higgs' verdict. Middlesbrough MP Stuart Bell says it was a disgraceful episode.
I am very concerned that a small child, has been held in hospital for 8 hours, and I am telephoning all the details of the case to the Minister of Health.
The girl's parents are now seeking legal advice.
British Guards officer Simon Haywood will today be formally charged with smuggling £500,000 worth of cannabis into Sweden. Captain Haywood, who's always protested his innocence, has been held in solitary confinement since January, when more than £100 of the drug was found in his Jaguar car. His case has been taken up by Tory MP John Gorst, who's visited him in jail. He says the Swedes are determined to convict Haywood.
I think they have determined that he's guilty. What they are primarily concerned with is rehearsing the evidence in public, putting it on record, if you like, and deciding what the sentence should be.
You seem to be suggesting that it's all a foregone conclusion and that he won't have a fair trial.
I am saying exactly that.
Mrs. Thatcher will tell President Reagan to his face today, stop being sidetracked by the Irangate scandal and get a grip on your role as a world leader. She'll deliver her message while she's on a flying visit to Washington, and he'll ask her for Britain to play a larger part in protecting the West's vital oil lifeline in the Gulf, Judith Dawson reports.
Apart from their close personal chat, they'll be discussing arms control, and Mrs. Thatcher will do her best to encourage Mr. Reagan to exercise his undoubted muscle in talks with the Soviets, despite his difficulties at home. And for his part, the American president will lean on the Prime Minister to take a more active role in the tense Gulf region, asking her to come in with the US to protect oil shipping through the war zone. And she'll give her wholehearted support to any new peace initiative. Judith Dawson, IRN, Westminster.
Former Home Secretary Leon Britton says it will be better to set up more temporary prison camps than to go ahead with plans to free 3,500 prisoners. Mr. Britton is predicting a public outcry over the scheme to ease overcrowding in jails. French Prime Minister Jacques Chirac has ordered an inquiry into the flood at the campsite in the Alps following allegations that officials ignored danger warnings. Police say the final death toll could be as high as 35. So far, 23 bodies have been recovered. The estranged husband of soap star Joan Collins has been picketing the Los Angeles mansion they shared during their 13-month marriage. Peter Holmes staged the demonstration in the hope of seeing Joan to discuss their divorce, though he admitted feeling silly and pathetic. Independent Radio News.
Presenting in the worst possible taste. A present for your most loathed companion. Watch them squirm with agony and cringe with anguish. Bessic's Big Blue Cassette. Cheques or postal orders for £3.99, payable to Red Rose Productions and addressed to Bessic's Big Blue Cassette, Box 301, Preston. Bessic's Big Blue Cassette. Available by post at your own peril.
There goes another one in the 300 car challenge at Mr. Smith the Nissan Man, and another £20 to the National Children's Home.
Ring him if you dare.
Allan Beswick, the Late Night Show.
And of course the telephone number is Preston 56 1000.
We'll make you laugh, we'll make you smile. You know you have some fun on Red Road 301.
Back to the lines. This time we're talking to Esther. How do?
How do you do, Alan? I'd like to complain about the council of the town I live in. Always appears to be bending over backwards for ethnic minorities. For example, Asians, by giving them a grant of £20,000 to mother tongue teaching classes, rather than spending it on houses, and also for funding their community centres. They seem to be always doing it for the Asian communities, and I wondered what your thoughts were on that.
My thoughts are that I don't think it is as imbalanced as you think it is. When you're talking about 20,000 for mother tongue teaching classes, tell me what you mean by mother tongue teaching classes.
Well, the mother speaks Asian, I suppose, and to teach them their language, which is Asian.
Now, what is wrong in teaching them Asian?
Well, wouldn't it be better if the money was put forward to teach them English rather than Asian?
It
For
depends on-
example,
Don't
Alan,
get cross.
for example,
Tell me why it is wrong to teach them to speak their mother tongue.
when the parents can teach them instead.
Well,
Why should we go out
Esther,
all out?
Esther.
I'm telling you why it's wrong.
Esther, why should
asked me
you...
a question.
Esther, why should your parents not have taught you?
Because this is an English country.
Well, fine. Why do you need to be taught English?
Because it's an English country.
Oh, so
the
your
country you live
parents...
in, you should be taught their language
So
of the
your
country
parents
you
are
live
not
in.
capable of teaching you your language, but you expect
Yes,
that...
they are capable of teaching me my language to a certain degree.
Yes. So why not allow others to learn their home language?
If they would like to learn their home language, why don't they go to their home land to learn their home language?
To be perfectly frank, in many cases this is now their homeland,
So why do they want to speak Asian?
because they are Asian.
That is really silly. It's
well, I
like,
suggest you
let me
learn.
give you an example.
Feel
It's
free.
like I went to a town where there was a bus information service. I went to the information desk. I found two gentlemen that couldn't speak a word of English and had to point me to no one on the information desk spoke English.
Well, I can't speak for that particular information desk, and I, like you, would consider employing people on an information desk in this country who are not able to communicate in the language of this country to be a totally and utterly ludicrous
Well, that is why,
situation.
really, in a way, I'm
But
falling
that has
up.
absolutely nothing to do
It has. Well, let me explain
with
to you.
well, you don't know what it is.
Also-
Excuse me a second. You have no idea how that sentence was going to end. So to say it has merely
Well,
means
it's
nothing.
reminded me-
I'm not interested in what it's reminded you. I was about to tell you something.
Okay,
I'm not.
tell me.
No, I'm not going to bother.
Right,
I'm
don't
just
bother.
pointing out to you that your statement "it has" means sweet nothing.
So do you think it's correct
Don't ask me questions. I'm just telling you the statement "it has" means nothing.
to you?
It doesn't mean anything to you either. You don't know what I was about to say, so to say "it has" is irrelevant.
Okay.
Now, what was your question?
Well, do you think it's right for councils to spend money on teaching people mother tongues rather
Yes.
than English?
Yes,
Why?
because it is.
You have nothing to back up that.
I have plenty to back up that, but nothing that will be satisfactory for you,
Why not?
because you do not concur.
I do concur.
What does concur mean?
Agree with you.
So you do agree. So
If I
have
could, I would agree with you if I could hear what you have to say.
The simple answer is one of the satisfaction of an individual of being able to communicate with their roots, if you like.
Mhm.
Well, that's all.
If they want to,
Well, I'm sorry. You asked me why I thought it was a right idea. The reason I think it is the right idea, the reason I think it is a good thing, is because I believe people have the right to their roots, if you like, to their own culture within our society, because I enjoy the fact that Britain is a multicultural society.
I don't enjoy that.
Well, I'm not bothered whether you
I think
do.
it
You asked
causes
me.
more arguments
Well, let me
than
tell you
anything.
something, Esther.
all these
Which
religions-
country do your ancestors
I was
come from,
speaking
Esther?
then,
Which
Alan.
which country do your ancestors come from?
England?
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Let me tell you, it is almost certain that your ancestors came from abroad at some stage.
Well, I've traced my family tree and I know they came
How
from
far
England.
back?
Over the last 300 years.
It's not quite enough.
Oh.
You ever heard
I
of,
think it is, Alan.
well, obviously you do, yes, but your particular prejudices are not really important. Have you ever heard of the Romans?
Yes,
Have you heard of the Norsemen?
yes,
Have you heard of the Normans?
yes.
All those people and others invaded this country and left their mark.
Can I just say, you sort of going away from the subject.
I'm not actually. I'm going exactly back in the
into
subject.
history.
Well, we're talking about history. You want to be taught.
I'm talking
you want
about
to be
the government,
taught your historic
the
language.
council,
You
sorry.
want to be taught your historic
I'm talking
language.
about the council.
You want to be taught your
expenditure
historic
of
language.
money, of our money
You
we're
want to be
paying.
taught your historic language, when in fact your historic language, your ancestral language, may well be Roman. It may be Norse. It may even be French. We are, this country of ours, I am very, very
We should
proud.
probably get a word in.
What's the point, you stupid? This country of ours, I am very, very proud to say,
because you're the
is the
presenter.
original bastard race. That pleases me. That gives me pleasure. I am proud of the fact that we are a cosmopolitan country. And the only thing I can think of in my country that I am not proud of are racist filth.
Yeah?
Those people make me want to
Why
vomit,
do you think you...
ideally
why do you
on them.
like all this multiracial things going on with people being taught and being backed up with it? It causes arguments, doesn't it?
Only with silly old women like you.
I'm not an old woman, Alan. I'm younger than you.
And why are you so stupid then?
I'm
Why
not
have you
stupid,
not
Alan.
learnt? Why do
Alan,
you want a
I
pure?
won't.
Why do you want a pure white race? Would you like them gas?
I didn't say pure. I never
Would you like
said,
them gas?
I never
Let's
said
just
I wanted a
establish-
pure
Esther,
white
let us
race.
see where you're prejudiced.
I never
Esther, shut
said-
up, shut up.
I ne-
Esther, shut up. Just
Alan,
answer questions for
Just
a
because
moment.
you're
Just
the presenter.
answer.
Let me, no, you just accused me of saying something I didn't
Esther,
say. Is that
I'm-
fair?
Esther,
Is that fair?
the world is not
is
fair.
not fair.
The
You are
world
not
is
fair.
not. No, I've never claimed to be Esther. Now let's just deal with a few questions. Let's find out what.
Well, how
you,
can I argue
shut
against
up.
an unfair
Shut
person?
up. You can't. That is why you will lose
why you're
always
the
against me.
presenter.
That is why I'm paid. Now let us deal with it this way.
I could do
You
your
t-
job.
I'm sure you could, Esther. The unfortunate thing is, for
I
you
know.
at least, you will never get the chance.
I might do.
It's very difficult to succeed on the radio as a racist. However,
I never said I was racist. You are making that comment.
I thought your comments were about a particular race.
I am... no, not
Tell
a
me what the
particular
word
race.
means. Tell me what
My
the word
comments
means. Tell me
are-
what the words means.
My-
What does the word racist mean?
Against people... because you have something against them that isn't factual.
That isn't what it means. It isn't even nearly what it means. But never mind. It just proves another reason why you wouldn't be able to do this job. You don't understand the language. Now,
Yes, it does.
Esther,
racist.
Esther, I'm really not, you haven't even mentioned at the moment during the attempt.
It's to be against someone for no proper reason.
During the attempt you made at explaining the meaning of the word race, you did not allude to race at all, which strikes me as being somewhat bizarre. However, we're getting miles off your subject. Let us come back to your subject and let us just find
Cancel spending money.
let us just find out what you are prepared to tolerate. Do you want
I
all...
don't want your questions.
Good night,
because
then.
it's-
How do Abby? You don't want them, you're not getting them. I'm sure you're very happy now. How do Abby?
Hello, Alan.
Good night. How do Ray?
Hello, Alan. Good morning.
Is it?
Well, I think it is at the moment. Alan, what I'm asking you is a record by Barry Ryan.
You can't ask me a record.
What
I'm asking you a record by Barry Ryan isn't a statement.
Sorry about that.
Don't be
I'll
sorry.
rephrase it. Do you know a record by Barry Ryan called Sorry Suzanne?
No.
It doesn't exist. It's just been an
No,
argument.
I said I do not know it.
Oh. Well, I can't put it into the context what you want me to put it into.
I've never heard of the record.
You haven't heard of the record? Oh. The last time I rung you up, the last one we spoke about was Gloria. We did sort that one out. The record I'm actually wanting to know
I
at the
heard
moment.
what you wanted. I'm telling you I do not know.
Oh.
I've never heard of it.
Well, you've heard the record, Sorry Suzanne.
All right, I have.
Yeah, there's been one or two versions. I was
Well,
just
fine.
wondering-
No, I take it all back. I know exactly what you mean. I just don't think I know.
Oh.
I've never heard of the record. Sorry, Suzanne.
Yeah, I was just wondering... It
I've
was
never
on the
heard of the
Polydor
record.
label. I just
I don't
wondered
care
if
what
any-
label it was on. I don't even care if they did it on a warm blanket. I've never heard of it. So I'm not really in a position to help you any further.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, thanks, Alan.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, cretin. How do, Alan?
Hello, it's Alan, the compulsive gambler.
Oh, God.
I don't speak English either. I just speak rubbish.
I'll grant you that.
I've just bought an very old steamroller. I couldn't get a new one because there's a long waiting list, like Rolls Royces to get on those. So I got this old one, you know, and I've had it souped up to about 40 or 50 mile an hour, and I just wondered if I could take it on the motorway. Is it permissible to take it onto the motorway?
I don't think so.
It's not.
No.
No. There's another thing. There was a bloke on the other night and called Mark, and he's very obstreperous, and you kept saying to him, Mark, 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 Mark. Do you know what you sounded like? You sounded like an Alsatian dog with an air lip.
That is wicked.
See you later. Ta-ra.
Peter, providing I still don't sound like an Alsatian dog with an air lip, Peter will be with you very soon.
Please listen to my ditty. It may not be very witty, nor even slightly funny, but it will help save you money. For me, from cradle to grave, I aim to shop and save. I buy out I need, for next to nought indeed. There's meat and veg and cheese and pigs and booze and clothes and cards and sweets and pigs and pet food and household things. So shop and save a load down Blackpool's Waterloo Road. In the market they call New, and Overt Road the M2. Thank you. Poetry in prices, from the New Market and M2 Market.
It's the place to come, where shopping can be fun. The Newmarket Waterloo Road.
Deal direct with Direct Windows.
Direct Windows, the best way to buy UPVC windows and doors in Lancashire. We install the superb Bowater Halo system, and all work is guaranteed and underwritten at Lloyd's of London. Buy direct, avoid the middleman, and make hard cash savings. Visit the new factory showroom 7 days a week at 64 Red Scar Estate, Longridge Road, or phone Paul Kelly on Preston 703 008.
Deal direct with Direct Windows. Direct Windows.
Whether you're considering a Citroen, Lada or Ford for E-Day on August the 1st, give the rest the big E for John Wilding. Right now, John Wilding is getting all excited by offering truly exceptional deals on all 3 of these makes, along with extremely low finance on selected models. You're always guaranteed John Wilding's excellent after-sales service too, and exceedingly generous part exchange allowances. So see how easy John Wilding makes buying E-Reg cars with Citroen and Lada at Banbury Garage, Westgate Morecambe, and Ford on the A6 Gar Stand.
How do, Peter?
Hello, Alan. Hello?
What do you want?
I'd like to talk to you about Great Britain. Why people have this urge that this country is great. I believe that this country is full of people who like to sort of drown themselves in their sorrows of maybe, 10, 20, 30 even years ago, when it was maybe better than some. But at the present day, I believe that this country is maybe so far backwards than, say, countries as Argentina. I also believe that this country...
Well, what measurements are you using to decide that this country is or is not far backward than Argentina?
Well, I was just using that as a...
Well, I'm asking you what measurement. What are we backward in or forward in, as the case may be?
Well, I think there's a lot of people believe that this...
Peter, if I wanted someone to speak on behalf of a group of others, I'd...